Hi, my name's Rachel Klutz, and I'm a certified nutritional therapy practitioner. I've had a practice for the last 15 years in Bonnie Lake, Washington, and today I'm here to talk to you about the importance of water in your body. One of the single most cost-effective things that we can do to improve our nutrition is simply to increase our water intake and decrease our use of diuretic beverages. So today I'm going to talk to you about the roles of water in the body and how you can improve your health and make sure that you're getting adequate hydration in your life. So let's just talk about water for a second. We can live 8 weeks without food, but we cannot live without water. We can only live days without adequate water intake. It's one of the most important nutrients in your body and one that I think we really take for granted. Water makes up about 70% of our body mass, or as low as 55%, depending on who you talk to. If you think about people as they age, they start to get kind of dried out, and simply by increasing hydration, we can age better. Water is actually anti-aging. The earth is made up of about 70% water as well. If you are interested in this sort of thing, there's a scientist by the name of Dr. Emoto who did a whole study on the consciousness of water in your body, and I really loved this study because they talked about, they did a study where they actually took several different jars of water and they wrote words on the front of the jars. So like this one would say love, and this one would say hate, and this one would say I like you, or whatever. And they would pray or over the one that said love, and they would tell it that they loved it every day. And then the hate one, they would say really mean things to. And then they took a high-powered microscopic lens and they looked at the cellular breakdown of the water through this high-powered microscopic lens. And the water that had all of this love poured into it was literally like the most beautiful image of a snowflake. And the water that had been hated on and yelled at, it seems kind of silly, but it looked diseased and sick and broken down. And they also took holy water and they looked at holy water with a high-powered lens, and they looked at natural springs, and they looked at water running through the pipe in downtown Chicago, and they looked at the difference of water, and they found that water actually has a consciousness. And the reason I share this story is we've been praying over our food for centuries, and our food is also 70% water. And so when you think of it from the aspect of really putting intention into your water by praying over your food, it really does feed and nourish the body. And so we take for granted the simplicity of things. We tend to want to make nutrition difficult and hard, but really it can be quite simple, just increasing your water intake. So what are the roles of water in the body? The body, water improves oxygen delivery to the cells. It's very important in digestion. We actually make 7 quarts of hydrochloric acid a day. Imagine your stomach producing this much hydrochloric acid, and it needs adequate water intake in order to really perform at its optimal function. So if you have digestive issues, you can actually increase your digestion capabilities just by increasing your water intake to make sure that your body can produce the hydrochloric acid that it needs to break down your food. On the flip side, you don't want to drink too much water with your food and then dilute the hydrochloric acid also. But it improves the transport of nutrients. It is a cushion for your joints and your knees. It's very important for the kidneys in order to detoxify the body. Having plenty of water intake helps regulate your body temperature. It absorbs the shock to your joints by having nice lubricated joints through moisture and water. That becomes a cushion. It helps remove waste from your body. It flushes out toxins. It prevents your tissues from adhering and sticking together. It improves cell-to-cell communication. It keeps the electrical impulses of the cells communicating properly, and it just empowers the body's natural healing process. Many headaches are just simply due to dehydration. So Water is very, very important. The body can produce about 8% of its daily needs for water all on its own through the metabolic processes. The other 92% we actually need to take in the form of drinking water. We are getting some water through our foods, but we do lose a lot of water each day. Perspiration, for example, we lose some of that water through our skin. So it's very important that you're drinking tons and tons of water. The GI tract is where most of your water is being absorbed that you're intaking. And if you're drinking any kind of diuretic beverages like coffee, tea, soda, those sort of things, they're going to also steal your water from you. They're going to dehydrate you even more. So what are some of the signs of dehydration that people experience? Fatigue, anxiety, irritability, depression, cravings, cramps, headaches. And then some of the more late stage signs of dehydration are going to include heartburn, joint pain, back pain, migraines, fibromyalgia, constipation, and that's a big one, a lot of constipation, and colitis. And just from a 10% decrease in your optimal water intake, you can have digestive problems, cardiovascular problems, immune problems, musculoskeletal problems, and then you can even die of dehydration. So how do you know if you're dehydrated? Simple test that you can do on yourself is have your hands be hanging kind of at your sides, and you're looking to see if you've got the veins kind of protruding or popping out as your hands are down at your sides. And if you slowly raise your hand up to heart level, and then look and see if that vein that was protruding is still sticking out nice and strong, and that would be a good sign that you're pretty well hydrated. So mine's looking pretty good today. But I better keep an eye on it because I could be a little off track. Yeah. So how much water are you supposed to drink each day? Ideally, you would be consuming half your body weight in water. So if you're 200 pounds, that means you would be drinking 100 ounces of water a day. The caveat is we can overhydrate, so we do want to be careful of that. If we have too much hydration, we can experience things like mineral loss. So typically we will cap it around 64 to 72 ounces. So maybe 200 pounds isn't the best example. If you're 150 pounds, and you would be drinking 75 ounces of water a day. And that seems a little daunting, but guess what? If you're drinking coffee or you're drinking soda, you have to add 8 ounces for every diuretic beverage that you're intaking as well. So one of the things that I think has been really fascinating about the work that Dr. Emoto is doing, in fact, one of his books is called The Hidden Messages of Water, is the fact that when we talk to water, it actually takes on the energy or the properties of how we're communicating to it. And so if you think about the fact that your body is made up of 70% water, what is our self-talk doing to the cellular structure of that water that's housed in our body? And he's been able to document this. So if we have thoughts about ourselves like, I hate you, or you're ugly, or I'm not happy with you, that is literally changing that cellular structure of water and creating dis-ease in your body, or disease in your body, dis-ease, because it's literally taking and transforming that cellular structure, and it's making it sick. So it really does speak to the power of prayer, the power of gratitude, the power of positive self-affirmations in your journey. And I always say, fake it until you make it. I mean, look yourself in the eyes in the mirror when you're getting ready in the morning and tell yourself, I love you, I'm proud of you, it's going to be a great day. Because even if you don't believe it when you say it, eventually you will. And you're trying to just get that good information into your brain. Of course, we have a lot of subconscious thoughts that drive our behavior and our thoughts, and that's the beauty of the work that you're doing here with the hypnotherapy weight loss program that is really going to help to unravel some of that. So Dr. Emoto, you can find him on YouTube. He also has a really great website. It's masaruemoto.net. I'll spell that for you, www.masaru-emoto.net. And that's kind of my story on him.